Hey guys, welcome back to another episode here at CrossFit Garage, where we are trying to help you build a firm foundation in fitness, food, and finances. And so with January 1st coming, and it's really, I guess when this episode comes out, it's only going to be 2 more months away. Things that people think about are, what goals can I do and what am I trying to achieve? So I know this, without a good sticky why, you're never going to achieve the goals you want to achieve. If you don't really care, then it's not really going to matter. The other thing is, if you don't track and measure, then it's not going to get attention. Anything that you want to have attention or see movement forward, you need to track and measure. So primarily here at CrossFit Garage, what we're trying to do is utilize the CrossFit methodology, which is in the eating world, or the nutrition is eat meats, vegetables, nuts and seeds, some fruits, little starch, and no sugar. That's their mantra, their ideal, and we'd like to aim you down that. Coach Lar will take you as a one-on-one customer and walk you through your own journey. So the thing you need to know is not everybody is built the same way, and not everything's going to always work. The other thing we do is we use CrossFit's methodology, constant and varied functional movements executed at high intensity, to move the needle much faster than any other working or training regimen. Also, it's not just exercise. We are training. So we are building skills and developing you. So exercise being, hey, I'm just going to go out and jog 5 miles. Great, go. You just exercise. Did you train anything? No. Now, you could say, well, I'm working on better form. Okay, now we've moved from exercise to training. And when I log miles, I'm logging form as well. So we have a coach here to coach you. So the people that we want here in the gym, actually, let me go back on this. We are trying to grow the gym to about 150 people, back to where we were pre-pandemic and all that. And our goal is to not just grow willy-nilly, which is what we did before. Hey, we'll take anybody and everybody. We do not take anybody and everybody. We take people who, and this is our motto, they are happy, humble, helpful people who want to be healthy and fit now, as well as into their 90s. We also want people who are very into coaching, mentoring, and accountability. And the other thing we really want to dive into is if we want referrals more than anything. So if you're brand new out there and you don't have anybody here at the gym, that's fine. But if you fit those 2 things, great, come talk to us. Members, if you've got friends, family, loved ones, 1, we already love you. And 2, you already came to the gym with us having this mentality for the last 5 years. The people you know and love are probably going to fall into that category as well. It's hard to, like attracts like, and we would love to have them here. We want to help them have a better, healthy life. So my goal in the long run is that when you get to 90, you are buff and bad and you are awesome, right? So you are very hard to kill, not just from viruses or diseases or whatever, but kinetic impacts. Whatever it is, you are good to go. So we want to help you get there. Now, of course, fitness is one way, food is another way, and you have to put those 2 together. And the other is, of course, if you're going to be 90, you better have some finances on hand. So I like to talk about finances because none of this goes really well if you don't have money on hand. So you can do all of this for free. You only come to us when you want to double down or find somebody who gives a crap about coaching, mentoring, and accountability. So what I'm going to do in this episode is go through the goals and the goal review form or formula that we use. I'm actually going to walk you through some of our members' goals. I've taken the ones that I've done so far, put them into a Google Doc, and then just listed things out. So you're not going to know who goes with what. I don't even know now that I cut and pasted them, but I did try to group them so they make some kind of sense. And I'm just going to go through them in order. The order is kind of sporadic. It's just basically whatever I started copying and pasting and then created the bulk groups. But I'm going to walk you through this. If your goals fall into these, then yes, we can help you. So it's basically, I want to, let's see. Well, 1, I guess you kind of got to be local to Woodstock area. So we're near Black Rifle Coffee or near First Baptist Woodstock. So if you're, within 10 minutes of that, then you're probably a good candidate. If you don't have disposable income, it's probably ain't going to work for you because it does cost to have coaching, mentoring, and accountability. It's like doing one-on-one personal training, which we do have. If you just want to go by yourself, we totally do that. But we put you, the other guys, in a group environment. Our classes are somewhere between, I guess on the small side, depending on I guess there could be vacation time. So we could have like a 3-person class up to a 15-person class. I would say typically you're looking at about maybe 8 people in a class, maybe 6 to 8 on average, just depending on the class time. If you hit the 7:30 a.m. class, it's always going to be a lot bigger. But anyway, I want to go through the goals. So January is coming. Everybody says, I want to have a new me. I want to do this. That is awesome. Do it. Now, there's a couple ways, I should probably do a whole other episode again on habits and building out your goals. But in a nutshell, tell people about it. name it and say you are that. So I am a fit and healthy person. Okay. Rather than saying I don't want to be fat or I can't exercise, things like that, name it. Say that you are that. I am fit and healthy. So what does a fit and healthy person do? Well, they probably go to the gym every day or very close to every day, right? And they probably watch what they eat. Man, that's good stuff. There are two things I can tell you right away. Show up at the gym and log what you eat. Those things right there are going to fix a lot of it. Now, if you need motivation, then you need a gym like ours. If you need accountability or coaching and you want to learn not just exercise, but you want to train, you want a gym like ours. If you want to come out of this doing more and better and being harder to kill and just more of a badass, then that's what we are. We take people from nothing and we help you become the hero of your own story. We don't want you to rely on us. We want you to gain these skills. Okay, let me move on. I am going to intentionally keep this to about 45 minutes. I know I have tried my darndest to make some of these outlines go faster, and I just talk. And I like, so the last one I did on recovering from disaster, avoiding disaster, I tried to stick to the formula so much, or the outline, that I really forgot to give my own personal stories, which I find boring. If you just want the information, just go Google it. If you want to hear personal anecdotes, then you listen to a podcast, right? This is what we do. So these are members in our gym. So this is what happens in a goal review. This is what you get from us when you sign up to us. This is the mentoring or accountability in the coaching, right, that we're giving you on top of what you do. So this is what members get. Right now, our system UpLaunch will tell me, hey, it's this person's turn to be talked to in a goal review. I'm like, okay, great. Let me go in there. And so I'll send out a text. It's a preformed text. It's something I already typed out. It's a type ahead. I just copy and paste it in basically. And it says, hey, it's been about, 12 months or whatever the timing is. And what we try to do on the yearly basis, and we just started it a few months ago, so it could be random, like 6 months, 18 months, whatever. But anyway, what we're trying to do is get your goals, put them in a Google Doc, and then have me and you go back and forth with them. So these are the goals that people have texted to me. Then I put them in a Google Doc. I shoot the link over to them, and we edit them together. I would say that I've had about 50 people come up that, hey, it's our turn to do this. Maybe not 50, maybe 40 people. And I've got 24 people who've given me goals that I've put them in a Google Doc so I can track it and we can measure it, right? We're going to see where we're at. Of the 24, about 12 of them are super active or somewhat active with their goals. So that means that they've given me goals and maybe they just, the other 12 people, they don't really, they don't want to, hey, if I show up and I do what I'm doing, it's pretty much going to hit it. Yeah, the answer is yes. But some of them have been interactive and we've created other plans. So members, if you're listening to this and you've done a Google Sheet with me, go interact with your goals and let me know. I don't know when you've updated it. You have to actually tell me because it's just a Google document. So I'd have to check the edited date, which doesn't always show up for me for some reason. Probably because it's user error. It's probably my fault. But anyway, we are going to go through members' goals, and I promise to stop at 45 minutes, even if my tangents get too crazy. This is me being me. This is part of our team, all of our team. So I tell my team there are 3 rules to coaching here at my gym. 1, you must deliver fun. 2, you must deliver fitness. 3, you must deliver for coaching. That's my 3 F's. So I know that if you're having fun, you will come back. If you're coming back, you will get fit. There's no way to do CrossFit and what we do and not become a better human, better at movement. There's just no way. So even if you simply just showed up and just barely gave it minimum effort, you would be better by the end of the year. You would totally be better, right? So if you're having fun, you'll come back. If you're coming back, you will gain some fitness. And if you're getting fitness, you're going to look at us and say, you know what? I know you care. And once you know we care, you're going to care what we know. And our ability to coach you goes way up, okay? So that's fun, fitness, and for coaching, the 3 F's. All right, so one of the goals I've got here, it says, put myself first so I'm not mentally drained, aka trying to figure out if parting ways with my current, in this case it was church, parting ways with my current church is the right thing for do to me. There's a lot of drama, right? So in this case, it's mindset. What can I do to give myself a better place and be less draining? So the reason I'm telling you this first goal is, well, one, it was just mindset is just at the top. But here's the thing. I ask the same questions for pretty much everything to get a goal going. Okay. So it's going to be something like, what are you doing for this already? Right? Easy question. I have to have some background. What keeps you from doing this now, or the struggle, right? So it could be, I'm just nervous, I'm afraid. In this case, it could be, I don't know, I've been here a long time, right? So I'm gathering more data, right? In this one, the questions get a little bit more specific on that that goal, so it's not necessarily useful maybe at this moment. But anyway, so it's the idea of gathering data, not just for me, but for you to reflect. There's many times in these goal reviews, and I'm not going to read everybody's responses because I don't know, that'd be kind of weird. It's just kind of personal and private, right? But I'll give you some generic things, but it's fascinating the number of times when you just ask the question why, or help me understand, or a how question or whatever, as they write, they almost answer the question or the goal for them themselves. And that's the beauty of it. Being a mentor isn't necessarily saying, hey, I have what you want, come get it. It's simply being willing to listen and giving a crap. And I give a crap. You guys are awesome. And I want to give back to you. So yes, I am older than most of everybody in the gym. So I have some experience I can deliver. Yes, I've got kids that have gone up into college, so I could give you some experience there. So have I gone before you? Sure, for many of you. And I can give those, tell you what I've seen anyway. And I've got 4 kids and they're all reasonably well adjusted. If you think of, hey, that kid's normal, there you go, he's got a normal kid. They lean heavily into the STEM arena. But anyway, do I think I did all this perfect? No. Probably the biggest thing I can give you when it comes to that specific type of advice is what I did that was stupid and how I've changed, right? So many times when you hire a coach, you are shortcutting the process because you're eliminating the number of times you have to fail. So if you want to speed the success up of anything you want to do, hire a mentor, hire a coach, right? It's going to cost you money. Yes. Money is a ticket to play. Money is certificates of appreciation going out to say, thank you. I appreciate you giving me this advice. You could do Bible study groups. You could have men groups. One of my good buddies, Donovan Conrad, he's got a group. I forgot what it's called. Sorry, Donovan, if you listen to this. And I guess, I don't remember what it's called, but it is a group of guys, like an F3 thing, but they're intentionally driven to help each other succeed. I love it. Guys holding you accountable. I think you have to be a guy to be in this group. So they're holding you accountable to manliness and success, whatever, right? That is awesome. I'm sure there's something that's similar on the ladies' side. I just don't know what it is. All right, next goal. So these are a bunch of goals. I copied and pasted out, and they are, these 5 are going to be health related. Now, I find it interesting. Some of these bigger groups like health, the request, the goal or whatever, they're going to be all over the place. But when we get into stuff like weight, nutrition, movement, you're going to see a lot of common themes pop up. And that's fantastic. What that tells me as an owner of this facility is I need to solve for that problem, right? So it's just algebra. We get so much time in the gym and so many things I can do. And then there are these many people who want this goal. So if I take the number of goals, knowing that I've done 24 of these, if I look back at the list and there's 24 people who have said, I want this, whatever that thing is, then I bet you it's going to be like 99% the same for the rest of the people in the gym. So I can deliver on that just simply by knowing what your goals are, right? All right. So it's, the next one is health. So I got a little hot tea here for me. I want to be able, I want to be able to stay fit during pregnancy. Man, that is awesome. Who wouldn't want that? I look back on our kids and I wish we had found this sooner. Evie was born in 2008 and I started doing CrossFit in 2007 as a test run. And my wife was like, what are you doing in the basement? And I said, I'm just being an idiot. She's like, yeah, I see that you look like you're swinging around a half full fertilizer bag. I'm like, yeah, that's my kettlebell. And you got these rubber mats down there and these semi-rubber coated plates. And it wasn't the plates we use today. It was really plates that were like coated in rubber. It was really bad, but I could drop them and I was just hoping I wouldn't bust the concrete. I think I stacked the mats that we have right now. I double stacked them so it would be a full inch of rubber. And I was super careful where I put them. But also I was trying to learn kipping pull-ups. I was doing a lot of strict pull-ups. And anyway, I just looked like someone had tasered me when I was on the bar because I just flare around like an idiot. Actually, so here's a cool thing. It's a little tangent. If you go on my Instagram or YouTube page or account, profile, whatever, you can look for a video I just put up there. We did a workout today. It was today is the 16th of October, and the workout was for 20 minutes, row some calories, do some sit-ups, and then do 50 pull-ups. And I thought to myself, it's been a while. And I had a conversation with Hannah one time, and she's like, man, that workout took me forever. I was like, yeah, but you did all those pull-ups. You did 36 pull-ups in this workout, and most girls aren't going to be able to do that at all. She's like, well, actually, that is kind of cool. I said, she's like, but your time was way better. I'm like, yes, but you spent the vast majority of your time on pull-ups, and pull-ups aren't a thing for me. That's not a problem. And this right here, I should have been able to say, and now I have a video to show her, say, look at your success and don't judge it, on mine. Comparison is a thief of joy. Not that she was, but I'm just giving you guys kind of painting this picture. Don't compare yourself. So I had Shayna, I said, hey, I'm about to do these pull-ups. Come over here and film as many as I can get in one go. And it'll just be a neat little piece of content. She's like, yeah, sure, okay. So she said, how many are you going to do? I'm like, I don't know. When I get there, I'm going to be kind of tired, so we'll see. So I just held onto the bar as long as I could, did some butterfly pull-ups, which I know some people in the health and fitness world would be like, that's not even a pull-up. Great. I didn't do a single pull-up. I did butterfly pull-ups, something totally different, right? Anyway, I was able to do 36 of them in a row before I let go. And when I let go, it was kind of funny. I was like, I need to get a better grip. And I just let go. I'm like, what? Dang it, why'd I let go? Anyway, I did 36 pull-ups in like 36 seconds. So you take these workouts and you're like, can I compare what somebody else is doing? The answer is no. You're on a journey for yourself, and we're helping you get there, right? So how long did it take me to build up to those pull-ups? I mean, I've been doing this for like 16 years, so I'm going to tell you 16 years. But at the age of 50, to be able to whip out 36 pull-ups in a go, man, that ain't half bad. I am really happy with what CrossFit is doing for my general health. Okay, so anyway, I want to be able to be healthy and fit during pregnancy. So one of the things I asked her is, hey, did you talk to some of the ladies in the gym that have been pregnant while CrossFitting? And the answer was, well, no, not yet. And so I don't think she knew some of those names. So now they have an opportunity to talk. So am I delivering the solution? In this case, I am using my knowledge to help her get to the goal she wants. And now she can go ask people like Sharon, whoever in the gym, who's actually worked out through pregnancies or multiple pregnancies and see how it's gone. Okay. Next one, better sleep. So this was actually a good one. And it actually spawned the one of the podcasts that I did on how to get a better sleep. So the same questions come up like, hey, what are you already doing for this? Hey, what keeps you from doing this right now? So it's the struggle, right? And then I also attached my sleep podcast. So this person could just check that out and be like, hey, there's these 18-ish things you could do for better sleep. Now, I love the value of these podcasts. I can put data out there or information out there, and you guys can listen to it whenever it makes sense to you. So you don't have to listen to these all the time, but you can be like, hey, you know what? I got a buddy who has issues with sleeping. Just drop the podcast off of him. So maybe this particular member didn't know we have a podcast, which, that's possible. I think probably only half the people in the gym even care about podcasts. So then of that half, how many of them actually listen to things on a routine basis, right? So now he gets to, or she, whatever. I'm going to call everyone in this Tina because I don't know who did these. So Tina, I'm sorry, Tina, if you're like, hey, that's me. It's not. I'm just going to use that name. Timmy and Tina are my standard, just use those names because Timmy got trapped in the well and that's who Lassie was always barking for. So I don't know, Timmy and Tina. So Tina is asking about better sleep, and I'm going to give her the things that I know about better sleep. So it's shortcutting her process. Could she go and just Google these on her own? Sure, yeah, totally could. But this is someone who cares about your actual success and can give you that information and walk you through it. And then you can ask questions right back, right? Okay. The third one, sickness. So about twice a year, I get a cough that won't quit and usually turns into bronchitis. Oh, great. Can CrossFit help that? Man, I don't know. I'm going to say this though, or fitness is a great hedge against sickness. So if you draw a rainbow and on the left side, you put sick, and on the right side, you put fit, in the middle is well, right? So if you do those, the body indications, like, your bioindicators, so like your heart rate or blood pressure or whatever, let's just go with heart rate. For a sick person, we could probably all agree 120 beats per minute probably isn't great and you're probably sick, right? 50 beats per minute is great and you're probably well. I mean, I guess you could have something that causes that to be low and that's a problem. But let's go with it's not a problem. You're exercising. That's well. So when you get sick and your heart and your body has to work harder, your heart rate goes from 50 to like 70. And you're like, oh, well, that's actually well. I mean, right? You're still well. So even when you are sick, your wellness or the numbers are saying, yeah, actually, you're pretty good compared to what normal people are out there. Now, sometimes the numbers with normal people are not great. So they're saying like, the average American is way overweight or whatever. So maybe the averages aren't great, but the 70 is, everyone would agree that, yeah, if you have a 70 beats per minute, you're probably okay, right? So the answer to his question then starts off with, hey, what do you like, or not the answer, the statements that I've got in there is, hey, what are you doing right now? What's keeping you from moving forward right this moment? Other question is, have you seen a doctor? The number of times that I threw that out there is like, have you asked anybody in the professional world about your ... They're like, no. I'm like, well, that would be a great step. Now, it may not, like me, I don't really ever go see a doctor, so it may not be a doctor. It could be like Alex up front with, hey, my shoulder hurts. Well, great. Did you see anybody? Well, no. Well, Alex is literally up front. Go talk to her. And they're like, yeah, I did. And then everything, I've got a thing to do now, or she massaged or whatever, and it's all gone or whatever. So this is when somebody gives a crap, me, for your goals, saying, well, the obvious thing, did you see a doctor? And you're like, yeah, I know, that's the obvious one. Then I am going to do the next thing, which is, tell me the date that you set up your meeting. Well, I didn't. Well, why not? Right? So this is me keeping you accountable to the things that you said is important. All right. Next one, number 4 is maintain a moderate relationship with alcohol. Man, I love that. I would say for the nutrition side of this equation, for health and fitness and CrossFit and all that, alcohol and desserts are the two crutches people lean on the heaviest, and pun intended, and everyone can learn to moderate. So that's a good one. So I, again, ask the same first 2 questions, and then we start walking through. A lot of times with desserts and alcohol and poor eating choices, it's actually, if you track journal what's happening in that environment, you're going to find there's a habit and a cue, ritual, and a reward that is going on. There's a cue, it's late at night, and I'm up, right? So you will find this happening, and simply by logging the data, you're going to be able to figure out what's what, right? Okay, so number 5 is find time to walk every day. I love this. Yes, we do CrossFit, and we are going to have you move constantly very functional movements executed at high intensity. But walking is awesome. Every human can do it, and it is the entry drug into fitness. If you can't do anything, just start to walk, right? Your ability to stand up from the floor or get up off the ground, so up and down, burpee, and your ability to move laterally, so your vertical movement as well as your lateral movement, if you can start just working on those, you are going to see a huge improvement in who you are. So I love this one. And I just simply start with the same 2 questions, right? What are you doing already? And what is the big struggle? The next is, I said, hey, here's a podcast I did on building habits. These things might help you, right? And so we just walk through some questions. When would you like to walk? Why do you want to walk? Why is huge, right? Why is this important to you? Did you block it out in your calendar? Could you do it after the workout so you're kind of in your cool down, right? So I'm giving out some suggestions, asking for some commentary, and we'll go back and forth in these things. All right, so that is health. Next one up is weight. Again, not in any order. It's just how I started copying and pasting them in. And dang it, look at that. I'm already at 22 minutes. It is crazy how fast the time goes. Anyway, so weight. And we got, how many of these do we have? There are 6 for weight, and they're all basically the same thing. So I will read them, but I'm not going to go through all of them if they're exactly the same, right? So one says, so Tina says, I want to lose and keep off 15 pounds, almost entirely diet related. I'm like, okay. So I started with some notes. I mean, this is, if it's diet, then it's probably habit related. And so they put in there 100% agree. I can never keep focused when life gets crazy. So we're going to start walking through that and journaling. Hey, when does this happen? Just start taking notes. When the desire to snack or find something sweet? Am I stress eating? Right? So we're drilling down into what is happening inside of this diet. And a lot of it is their work. They're going to have to do it. But the answers from my side, because I see this all the time, they're really not that complicated, and it's a lot of how, why, and what's, with some suggestions, and it's usually going to involve, hey, did you journal this, right? The next one was there, let's see. What do you eat right now that is stupid? So we had gone through some other conversation points, so stupid was the word came up. So what are you eating that's stupid? And so throughout some donuts, cookies, desserts, and it's usually I'm very disciplined, except when I go out or when life gets insane. I'm like, great. So some commentary for me is, there's nothing wrong with eating this and making it fun, but it looks like these things are sugar related. So obviously we started talking about sugar. So it's me dialing into their responses to help them figure it out, because a lot of times you can't see the forest for the trees or because of the trees. It's your life. Now, if I asked you the same exact question about your friend, so Tina says, I don't get good sleep. And I said, hey, Johnny's not, or Timmy's not getting good sleep. What would you ask them? They're going to say or tell them the exact same things that I would say or tell them. So it's not rocket science. It's simply having someone to bounce off ideas, right? Okay, so next one is maintain a weight of 210 pounds or below. I love that. So they have a number in their head. So, of course, I ask my normal 2 questions, and then why this number? It is fascinating to me. Sometimes a number that people pull out of their pocket is, it comes down to things like, well, in high school I weighed that much, and it's not so much the weight at high school, it's the feeling of freedom and the lack of stress and the lack of accountability and the lack of basically being a teenager, right? And they're actually desiring that more so than the weight themselves. So it's fascinating to go talk through these things. Does it matter? Yes, because they may actually turn their goal around and say, actually, I should be more or I should be less, right? I am a small guy, so 210 for me would look very different. Guys hold their weight usually, well, I mean, if they do it right, it's going to be proportional everywhere. That's what CrossFit will do for you. But typically guys are heavy on the upper body because everyone skips leg day, right? Next one is, this is interesting, is it's instead of a weight, I like this better as a weight or scale goal. This one was maintain a body fat percentage between 12 and 15%. Like, that's great. So the difference here, the reason why I would say go for body fat versus weight is just a function of gravity. And hold on one moment. Anyway, it's a function of gravity. And so I could just put you on the moon and you would weigh less. So it's not necessarily weight that people care about. Weight is just a number that we can step on a scale and say, I guess, yeah, it's better. I like that number maybe. But usually when you dive into these things, it's, well, if I was to put muscle on you and you were tone, but you weighed the same, would that be okay? And they're like, well, yeah. I mean, if I put you in a dress or a pair of pants that you want to fit in and it fit right, even though you weighed the same, is that okay? And they're like, yes. So weight typically is a relation to my fat or the body composition, can be a misnomer, right? Because if you're going to exercise, you want to build muscle. A secret, a tip, a trick, or whatever, a hack to losing weight continuously is to build muscle. And when you sleep, that muscle desires more materials. And so your metabolism is actually going to go up. So having muscle on you was great because you will burn more just being alive, right? So having a specific weight goal isn't as appropriate as having a body fat percentage goal. Now, the weird one here is not many people know what their body fat percentage should or could be. So again, I would use Coach Laura to say, hey, help me pick some numbers that make sense. You can Google it, but everybody's body is different. And having somebody who actually can look at you and help you and talk to you, so hire her for 30 minutes. Do a PT session with her and don't do any physical training. Do all, hey, talk to me about nutrition and body fat. Basically pay her for 30 minutes of her time, or go full on and hire her as a nutrition coach. That'd probably be the better way to do it, but get that information so you have a better starting point. Right now, I'm in the middle of cataloging my journey of logging my food because Levi said, please do it. And I was like, all right, whatever. I love my son and he wants me to do it. I'm in. Let's try it. We'll have something to talk about. And I actually have learned a whole lot more than I thought I would by logging my food. And the last time I logged food was back when I did the zone diet, which I hated. Or the zone plan or whatever. And so this one's been interesting, and I have actually made adjustments. So logging, talking, having an expert, but the point of that was I don't exactly know what I'm doing. The calories it gave me, it just sort of like pulled it up because that's, I answered 3 questions. Laura would actually give me a real number based on what I'm doing and how old I am and CrossFit and all that stuff. So I need to go back and do it with her. And when I'm done with this test phase, I'll probably go and do that. Anyway, so we talk about body fat. So one thing I did mention is, hey, we have a scale at the gym that is a BMI scale, body mass index scale. And the problem with that scale that most people don't know about is you can't just use it like you're stepping on a normal weight scale. So a normal scale uses your mass and gravity to give you your weight. The BMI scale, it wants you to have the same water retention or water in your body so that it can use the same impedance chart. So you can compare measurement to measurement. So you can't use it if you've been sweating. so you can't use it after. Well, you can use it after you work out, but it's going to give you an erroneous measurement. You shouldn't even trust it. The weight will be fine, but the BMI isn't going to be on at all. You can't use it during your cycle. You can't use it if you've increased your caffeine consumption. So you would have to use it at very particular times. Now, what you could do is say, Laura, help me out. Let me use a scale. Okay, great. What we're going to do is use it. I don't know. Let's say you come in at 4:00 for that class, and Timmy's like, I'll come in at 4, and before I go to class, I am going to step on the scale. Great. Make sure you understand what you're drinking, water-wise, or anything, so that we have a similar body type for you. So it's using the electric impedance in your body. So how electricity moves between your body. You hold on to a little hand grippy thing that's got some metal contacts, and then you step on it with bare feet with metal contacts, and it doesn't shock you or anything. It just uses that to gain an impedance through your body. Okay. So it's important, and you have to have, like, your arms have to be out. You can't have your elbows close to your body. It's going to change the way it measures. You also, if your legs are touching, then it's going to travel a different route. So it's going to use wrong table numbers, right? So not actually, and they're right there. Not everybody can use that type of scale because of the way it's mechanically or electrically designed. It doesn't know if you are standing incorrectly or touching other body parts, or maybe you reached out and held onto the wall or somebody's touching you, right? It doesn't work like that. Anyway, body fat is the way you want to go when describing this is the way I want my body to look like, and composition. So it's lean muscle mass versus the other mass. It's not muscle, and then fat, right? So you've got your skeleton and all that stuff that goes in there, then your lean muscle, and then fat. Okay, so another one on this thing is bring my fat percentage down to 30%. I like that. There's a number I want to get below it. Perfect. Why? So we start with those questions. And we basically nailed down I eat too much sugar and I need to start watching out for that. I did a podcast on how to stop eating sugar, or at least what I did. And so I sent that over to him, and they're like, hey, it started a great discussion on, okay, if you think it's sugar-based, let's experiment with other tastes to help get you out of always wanting sweet. Now, the trap you may fall in when you get out of wanting sweet is most people are like, well, I always want salt. You're like, yeah, okay, I guess it's different, but don't exchange one addiction for another addiction. Sweet is way more addictive than salt, but you can go overboard with that too. Especially if you're eating out. If you're making your own food, then it doesn't come pre-salted, so you can salt it up, whatever. Okay, increase lean muscle mass. That is the same way of saying I would like to decrease my body fat or increase my lean muscle mass. I do like that one. I started this one off. Well, that's great, because that's what CrossFit will do if you follow its the fitness in 100 words that Glassman put out, which starts off with your nutrition and then your exercise, right? So then we started getting into how many days a week are you coming in? Okay, it's 2 to 3. Like, okay, well, can we set 3 as a minimum? Yes, but it's hard. Oh, it's hard. Okay, well, now we get into a discussion of consistency. So now it's not, I need to adjust my diet. Theirs is, I want to adjust the amount of times I come in. I want 3 to be my minimum. Okay, well, let's talk about that. So now that we've explored a goal, they understand it a little bit better. And again, guess how many times people say, I would love to come into the gym more. I see this all the time. It's not rocket science. The easy one for me to do right there is to plug in hey, this is how I use Google Calendar. I own the gym, and I still slot in. Well, right now, because Evie is driving to school and I'm riding scared shotgun beside her, it used to be 7:30 a.m. is my workout time. Now it's 8:30 a.m. So my entire life is shifted by an hour. Is it easy? No. Is it painful? Yeah, it doesn't work out great for me for the rest of my day, but that's where we are. Also, she has soccer practice that I take her to at least 2 of the nights, so Tuesday and Thursday. So I am missing the gym. Knowing that I'm going to have an hour and a half there anyway, I'm now jogging or biking. I'm like, whatever. It's not exactly what I want, but it's what I've got. So I'm still moving. So coming into the gym is different for me. I would love to come into the gym more, but my first thing would be move 5 days a week. After that would be come to the gym 5 days a week. So you're going to force rank the goals that you've got. All right, next one on there was, again, cut from 183 to 175 and log some more miles for jogging, as well as work on eating a better breakfast. Okay, so this is a lot layered in together, but it starts with weight. So we started going down that road of what can you do and why would you do it? So this was an interesting one. Let me pause here and actually read this because I'm really bad at reading ad lib here. Hold on. Oh yeah, so this was good. So we got into some other ideas that were kind of cascading with this was just more of a healthier mindset. So it's interesting how goals kind of take a turn a bit. So this is about weight, but it's actually more about mindset. I have time that I'm actually driving to work still. I know nobody else drives to work anymore, right? So 5 days a week, they have a 45-minute commute. So we start talking about, well, what could you be doing in that time? I like to shut my brain off. Okay, well, what does that mean and how can we make it effective? So you want to shut your brain down. Is listening to a podcast and something you enjoy shutting your brain down? Yes. Okay. Could it be something you enjoy in the world of maybe some healthy habits? Okay. So we're opening up the conversation to what could I do productive to give me better insight inside of myself so that I could create routine to help me get to this other goal. So now it's not necessarily the eating side of it, it's habits. And that's, again, questions to go through in order to get you to the place that makes the most sense. All right. So these are the other things we've got. I'm going to pause the discussion there because I'm already at 35 minutes. It's crazy that it goes that fast. I'm going to have to break these up into different podcasts because I think a couple other things I want to talk about. So, but this is what you have to look forward to. So we have a fitness one. And there's about, how many of there? There's 8 goals in there. There's movement, which I did different because movement is I want a particular movement. And no surprise there. The vast majority of people said I want my first pull-up, or I want better pull-ups, or I want kipping pull-ups or strict pull-ups. So pull-ups weirdly is like, that's interesting. I didn't know that many people would be fascinated with pull-ups. So we will probably edit some of the things we do to help people get a focus on pull-ups like we did back in, when was it? January, March. It was March and April, or April and May, that I did a specific focus on the skill sets around different skills that we were getting, or not skill sets. It was different skill sets we wanted, and then the progression paths to get there. So everyone could find a place they needed to be and then start working on and practicing those. So it'll be something that comes up. Other things that we're and there are like 24 of those. Running came up as one on its own a couple times. So there's 3 running goals. Consistency, of course, right? I told you that comes up a lot. And there's 13 goals specifically saying I want to be more consistent. There's a couple on injury, which interesting, it's all around the shoulder. So I can I should be telling people, hey, this is how we take care of our shoulders. The easiest one is make sure you're very mobile and warm before you go into it. And then, of course, there's nutrition. And if I did that right, did I do that right? Maybe not. So there's another, wow, that's a lot. There's another 15 related to nutrition, which, okay, weird. I actually have somebody that is a nutrition coach in the gym. And this is why. Because nutrition is a big part, and it requires somebody that's going to expertly follow you through to help you along the way. You can do it on your own. Just stop eating sugar and stupid crap. But that advice is pretty hard for almost all of us, right? Then there's some random ones. The random ones are the ones that I really, really love. Of course, I love the health and fitness ones too. But I tell everyone, give me 3 goals that are health and fitness related and 1 goal that has nothing to do with that. And so that 1 goal that has nothing to do with it, how many do I have? Some people gave me extra ones. So there's, not everyone gave them to me either. So there's 20 of them. And we'll go through some of those things. And I'm not going to probably go through exactly their goals, but it's the idea. And you're like, Andy, how can you even help in that? Like I got someone here that says, I'd like to get licensed in massage. How can you even help or be qualified in that? I mean, I did just get licensed and start a gym. So I probably have some experience with that. Also, being an entrepreneur, getting started in a thing, it's really not complicated. You need to do a step. And a lot of times it's like, hey, what are the steps? List them out. So one of, Jamie Thomas said, I would like to get paid more. I'm like, great. What does that look like? And what are your options? One of them, she said, is I'd like to start my own business. I'm like, great. What are the steps? And she listed them out. And I'm like, great. When are you going to go get an LLC? She's like, well, I'm going to do it right now. And so she actually did all this stuff, and she has a business now. And was it me? No, I really had nothing to do with it. It's just her having someone to bounce ideas off of that's not in her immediate surrounding. And I know it's weird. I bet you people around her told her the exact same thing, but hearing it from someone that's not her family or close or parents or whatever, she's like, you know what? Yes, I should probably go and do that. It's a weird thing, getting the same information that you probably already had, whether it's this or some other goal or whatever, having it said out loud by either you or somebody that's not related to you in any way, right? Or in this case, maybe, well, you're not really paying for this advice. I guess you're a member of the gym, so yeah, you're paying for it. So yes, you're going to maybe take it a little bit more serious. But this is why I always say hire a mentor and pay them a lot, because the mentor, if they're expensive, they probably know what they're doing. And if you paid them, you're probably going to listen, right? But this is beautiful stuff. So she's got Fox Oak Counseling, and she's there to help people. And man, what a beautiful business. What is she in business for? To help people be better, right? So you heard the saying, hurt people. Well, help people. That doesn't make any sense, but help people who help. This is going back all the way to the beginning of this podcast. We are looking for people for this gym that are happy, humble, and helpful. Seriously. How helpful do you have to be willing to go out on your own and start your own business to help people with like mental trauma or mental issues or whatever, right? Your self-esteem, your self-worth, your head and your heart issues. She has dove in. She has jumped in with both her feet to help people. Yes, it'll make her some more money. And yes, there are some headaches. So, I mean, without profit, there is no passion. If you can't make some money at what you're doing, then it's foolish, right? And just ask any business owner. And if, so we did a podcast with Jennifer, and she said, hey, if you use our Airbnb and go through our link, we'll give you a discount. And I said, no, do not ask for a discount. Do use her site because her site gives her more money, and their place is awesome. I've looked through it, and I linked it in the other episode. But when somebody has a business that you are friends with, pay them full price. Even tip them more if they do a good job with you. Show them you appreciate and you want to help them. And the best way you can help them in their business is use their business and then pay them a fair amount, right? Whatever they say it's worth. Many times people come up with their business and they're like, well, I don't know what to charge. Let me just go look what Timmy's charging. I'll just charge a little bit less than that. No. Understand the value you offer and what it takes for you to have the clientele you want, and then set a price based on that that'll get you to allow you to stay profitable and deliver on a service that is above and beyond what you're trying to do. Now, if you're the guy who's like, I just want 1 billion of people in my gym and I want them to pay barely anything and barely show up. I mean, that's the standard health and fitness model. If you go to Lifetime or One Time, or I don't know what they're called, all those things, Planet Fitness and all that, some of them charge you a lot and they hope you never show up, because if everybody that they had a membership with actually showed up, they would be in trouble. On the flip side, we want everybody that has a membership with us to show up because we want to help you. And we know the best way for you to be healthy and fit is literally you just show up, listen to the coach, do what we said, and you're going to start understanding your own body, and it'll put you on the path to becoming the hero of your own journey. Did you have a sidekick? Yep, that's us. Did you have, what is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, their rat guy, Splinter? Did you have a Splinter? Sure, that's us. Now, who is the hero? Splinter? No, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are the hero, right? Who was the hero? Superman or the guys in the crystals? I don't know who that is. It's Brainiac. It's somebody. No, the crystal, yeah, I gave him some advice, but Superman is the hero. He is living his life, learning how to, if you've ever watched it, it's a great series. It's called Smallville. It's Superman or Clark Kent learning to become Superman through high school and whatever. And it's older, but it's got great music and it's just done really well. But that is the process. Find your person, like Batman had, or Bruce Wayne or whatever one had, the butler guy. Oh man, why is his name escaping me? I'm so sad. Olivia's gonna say, Dad, well, actually she never listened to this, but if she did, she'd be like, Dad, I can't believe you forgot Alfred. There you go. Just took me a while. Is Alfred the superhero? No. Batman is, because he does all the cool stuff, right? And he is saving lives and he's helping people. But Alfred is a mentor to him, helping him right his train whenever it gets derailed. And that is the value of having a coach or having a group like CrossFit Garage, where everyone is saying, for the most part, the glass is half full. And they're saying, hey, I want to be happy. I want to be humble. I want to be helpful. And those are the characteristics that if you look around us, you're going to see everybody doing it. But case in point today, Aaron and Alec were talking about rowing. I don't know exactly what they're talking about, but Alec was asking questions and Aaron was giving some demonstrations, and they're working together by themselves on their own accord, doing their own thing. And that's awesome, right? Alec is humble enough to say, hey, I need some advice. I don't even know what they were talking. Again, I don't know what the issue was. They could have been off to the side saying, hey, row with me. I don't know. But it looked like he was giving instruction, right? So Alec was humble enough to say, hey, help me out. Aaron was helpful enough to say, yeah. And they both walked away with smiles feeling like, hey, I got something out of that. That is awesome. If you're that type of person, you belong here with us. If you're the type of person who says, put the camera on me and showcase me and give me all the stars, you are not going to be one of us. It's probably not going to work out well. Now, we do that, but we do it through our normal actions. If you came up to me and said, I want to make sure that you highlight me all over your website, you would probably find out real fast that this gym isn't for you, right? So again, happy, humble, helpful people. Okay, so if you're local here in Woodstock, then come check us out. How do you find us? Go to our website, CrossFit Garage, and you can either click on the rates and they'll do a pop-up and you'll fill it out and you'll jump into our lead nurture system. And eventually you're going to get an email or a text or whatever from us and it'll have rates and all that stuff on it. But it gives you a lot of great information up front. It also puts you in our system so that Coach Jamie, our general manager, will reach out and say, hey, how can I help? So you'll get a text from us. And the first one is automated because automation is great. You'll also get an email from us. The first one is automated. There's a lot of emails that'll come out that are on a system of like, hey, this is what someone in your position typically wants to know. Here it is. Then you'll also get a phone call or a text or a video text from Coach Jamie reaching out to you, asking basically, how can we help? What are you looking for? It is true. We cannot help everybody because some people's goals are so far out there, it doesn't make any sense. Also, CrossFit, while it is for anybody who wants to give it a shot, I'll admit it's not for everybody. So some people in my own life that are very close absolutely detest the idea of CrossFit. And I'm not going to make them do it. They just don't like being that sweaty or that, learning new things or not being good at the things right when they come in or whatever it is, right? That's totally fine. I applaud them in doing whatever it is they want to do. If you like to challenge your body, if you like to learn new things, if you like to be coached, if you remember what it was like to be on a sports team, or I've got several people in the gym who've never been on a sports team and are super not athletic and kind of goofy in their movements, but what they're learning is it's the 10 general physical skills, and 2 of them are coordination and balance. And they're learning that now as an adult, and they're thinking to themselves, and I've had them say it to me, man, I wish I had this as a kid. I would have felt so more confident going out and doing things. Maybe I would have played in sports. That's us. Happy, humble, helpful. If that sounds like you, great. We're looking to get the gym up to about 150 members, and we'll probably stop it because we won't be able to take anymore. If you sound like that, yeah, come to us. If you are a member and you've got friends and family and they're close, then yeah, bring them to us. We're doing Bring a Friend Week right now. Of course, when you're listening to this, that'll all be over. But we are here to help. We're excited to help people become the hero of their own journey. We're excited to be the coach, the mentor, and to help you keep you accountable. We're excited to be, as Jamie Thomas put it, hey, it's like being a life coach when you do these goal reviews. Sure. If we're a life coach, I love that. I don't know exactly what that is, but I love the term. And we are here to help you take that next step forward in your journey of living a good life now, as well as in your 90s. Okay, so again, these are the ways you can find us. We're also on Instagram and Facebook. My email address is andy@crossfitgarage.com. Or if you're like me and you're 50 and you're like, I don't like that technology, I just want to talk to somebody, my phone number is literally plastered on our website. If you click it, it comes to my phone. I don't keep my phone on ring. It's on vibrate all the time because I respect the time of people in front of me. And so I always want to give them attention. If it rings, whatever, you're just going to be there. If you really want to get me, text me first and then give me a call. That way I know you're already like in there in the phone, or text me and then I will say, hey, what's a good time? And we'll talk, right? I'm usually pretty good if I'm driving, picking up the phone because my phone number is on there, but it's me. You can get me. I'm a real person. I'm live. I text back a lot. I also throw in things like if I can put a podcast episode in there that meets your goals or your needs or whatever, I'll do that. Coach Jamie is super fast. She does have an Arizona number. So if you see that area code pop up, that's her if you're trying to get in contact with us or she's texting back and forth with you. But guys, we're here for you. We are here for the long haul. We were established the brainchild came up in 2007. We got established in 2008. We've made it through recessions, depressions, shutdowns, and all that. We are going to be here forever, and we're here to support you guys. I hope to help you lay a firm foundation in your fitness, food, and finances. All right, take care.